I decided to go live after all. I don't know if you guys got my notification. I posted on my community board that I was going to be going live. I think I posted yesterday that I was going to go live. And then my boyfriend wanted to go to Lowe's to get some garden stuff. And they're closed because it's Easter. I didn't even realize it was Easter. So I know a lot of you would be with family, so no worries if you're unable to join because I didn't even realize it was Easter. Hey, Seattle Sapphire, how are you doing, Aretha? I kind of assumed that Easter was like next weekend or something. I didn't really pay attention this year because I'm not planning on doing anything with my family because of everything that's going on. So I didn't even consider it, which is probably a silly thing to do. But I wanted to do a live again kind of later in the afternoon. So Sunday is kind of more workable for me than Saturday just because it tends to be hectic. Hey, Ruth, happy Easter. I am good, Aretha. I have been kind of slow today, just relaxing. I wanted to do some stuff on my house, but then just kind of wasn't feeling it. I kind of had a heavy dinner / late lunch. I got yesterday some like ground lamb meat. I got like a gyro plate. It's like a Mediterranean dish. And I heated the gyro meat up today and put it in a what is it? It was like a flatbread that I had got a while back ago in a grocery haul. I think I got it from Grocery Outlet. I think the wraps are the flatbreads, they're called. They're 5 net carbs each. So I had 2 of those with some of the gyro meat inside, and I put like red onion and lettuce in there and some tzatziki sauce. And it was so good, but just like kind of heavy for a lunch. I like having heavier stuff like that towards the end of the day because it really just weighs me down. And then I feel like I'm too lethargic to do anything else. Normally, while doing keto, I haven't really experienced that because most of the things are really low in carb. But there are some things that, like the certain keto breads or bread substitutes that are supposed to be lower carb, they make me feel as bad as if it was just like a regular piece of bread. So I like to try and wait to have those things until later in the day if I can. Definitely during the week, but on weekends, I don't pay attention as much, but I probably should, just because it does kind of, for me in particular, it kind of makes me feel too lethargic to do anything. So I need to push those carbier things off until later in the day for sure. Aretha says it was slow for me too. Just did some house cleaning. Yeah, I did some house cleaning. I think last week and the week before. I've been kind of in a kick of cleaning up around my house. I don't know what it is. If it's if it's just spring coming or what. I think honestly, it's because the days are longer now. I feel more energized when I get home from work, and then also on the weekends, I just feel more energized. So I want to do something. So I've been cleaning, which is basically I haven't done that since I moved into my place. But it's been nice. It actually feels really great to be able to clean up and organize some things. That's kind of been my kick lately, is organizing too, because when I moved in, we kind of moved in kind of a rush. So I was unpacking some boxes and my boyfriend was unpacking some boxes, and he kind of put things in a way that made sense to him. And then when I go to find things, like my pantry was a good example of that. And then I go to find things and I have no idea where to find anything because he organized it like based on size or something. I forget. And I organize things based on how I use them. So like the more frequently used items I have towards the front, and then the less often used items I have towards the back. So that's why I recently organized my pantry, because it basically, I couldn't find anything. because of how we moved in and just like unpacked everything because I couldn't unpack everything. So I'm thankful that he helped unpacking, but it just has been hard finding things since we moved in, basically, because I was doing the floors and painting with my boyfriend, and then we also had to move and unpack and everything. It was just a lot at once, but organizing things and being able to find things when you need it is always nice. Ruth says lemon garlic baked chicken for us today. Ooh, that sounds so good, Ruth. Did you make that yourself or is that something that you ordered out? That sounds fancy. Lemon garlic baked chicken. That sounds amazing. I'm not even a big fan of chicken, but I feel like if chicken is seasoned / flavored well, it can be delicious. I'm just not a great cook, so I I never can seem to season it in a way that I like. Aretha says, I think it has to do with the fiber in some of the keto breads. That's a good point. I know there's the way that the fibers are listed on some of those breads. It's kind of weird. They have like insoluble fiber and then soluble fiber. And I personally don't know the difference. Oops, sorry. I don't know the difference of the two of them and how like it reacts in the body. I'm not a very like sciencey kind of person. So that stuff, even when I try to read it, it just doesn't make sense to me. So the fiber might have something to do with it. I'll have to pay attention to that when I notice there's a bread that doesn't make me feel lethargic, because there definitely are some breads that I can eat and feel totally fine. Chompies is a good example. When I have Chompies, I feel great. Except for their bagels. I think their bagels made me feel really lethargic, and their rolls. But the regular bread, it made me feel great. And I'm not sure what the difference is between that one and other ones. Might be the protein content too. I'm not sure. Hey, Jackie. I have no idea what time it is for you right now, but I was trying to figure a time that was relatively reasonable for majority of people. Jackie Does Keto says, hi, Mary. It's 1 a.m. here. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for dropping in and saying hi. You're staying up so late. I could not do that and then go to work in the morning. That's rough. Thank you for dropping in, Jackie. Ruth says, yes, and we'll make chicken salad sandwiches. Ooh, with the leftovers. Just garlic and lemon with poultry seasoning. You make it sound so easy, but I know I would mess that up. I would mess that up so bad. My grandma would do this thing with, I think it's salmon, where she'll put mayonnaise on it and some lemon juice and bake it. And that tastes amazing because like the mayonnaise keeps it moist, I think. And I'm afraid to cook salmon too, but that seems simple enough. She just slathers salmon on it, or not salmon. She slathers mayo on it and puts like lemon juice, and so it looks simple. That's the kind of thing that I would need to do like with my grandma by my side the first time, and then try it on my own. Even though it's simple, I'm just a bad cook. But I haven't been cooking anything like out of like something. I haven't been cooking anything new recently, and I want to try some recipes. But I just I don't have anything. I don't really look at recipes often, but I don't have anything that I've been really wanting to try. I've been craving cheesecake. And I don't have a keto cheesecake recipe off the top of my head that would be really good. If you know of any, let me know, because I've been craving that for a couple weeks. And I've tried just like putting together a keto cheesecake based on what I think a keto cheesecake is made out of. Because in my mind, it shouldn't be that hard. It's just cream cheese, a sweetener, vanilla. I think that's it. I don't know. So I'll try and make like my own recipe, and then it's still edible, but it's just like it's not the right consistency. I don't know if I should also add butter to the cheesecake to like make it harden more or what, but it just doesn't turn out the way I want. So I need to find a good like crustless. I'm thinking kind of like a cheesecake fat bomb kind of situation. So I want to try something like that. But with me, whenever I try a new recipe, I always, well, not always, most of the time, it just doesn't turn out either the way that it's supposed to be or the way that I'm expecting. So, it's just so frustrating to try recipes and then it be failures. And for me, that seems to happen a lot. So, I definitely need a go-to cheesecake fat bomb kind of recipe because I love cheesecake, and cheesecake's like the easiest thing to make keto in my opinion. Because cream cheese is already keto, and then it's really just um, the sweetener that would make regular cheesecake not keto. So it seems like an easy thing to keto-fy. Um, Aretha says the fiber is in some products can make you feel bloated. Oh, okay. I'm thinking, so for me, normally, some bread substitutes make me feel lethargic, like super tired. And honestly, I've had some times where it makes me feel like, I don't know, like I took a sleeping pill or something. It really makes me feel tired. Like it's not great. It can ruin the rest of my day. Um, so I don't know what that is. It's kind of like how people say on Thanksgiving when you have like too much turkey, it makes you feel really tired. And I forget there's something in turkey that does make you feel tired, and that's whatever the ingredient that makes people feel that way. That's how some keto breads make me feel, like so tired, as if like I took some melatonin or something. It's crazy. And you would think I would be more cautious with the breads that I try because I try so many breads. You would think that I would have them only like late in the afternoon or something because I've had so many and had experiences where they do make me feel so exhausted, but I don't learn. It takes me a long time to learn. Aretha says, I made salmon for my meal prep. I just put the video up this morning. Oh, no way. Salmon for meal prep. That's a really interesting idea. My boyfriend absolutely loves salmon, so I could see that totally being a good meal prep thing for him. Um, I like salmon every now and again. It's just I don't know that I can eat it every single day. Meal prepping that for me would be tough, but if you absolutely love it, I think it's awesome. It's kind of like steak. I feel like I could eat steak every day, and be just fine. Except for my migraines that it seems to cause. But um, Aretha says, I always add an egg to mine. Oh, and put it in the oven. Comes out pretty good. Yeah, I guess I've been doing more no bake cheesecakes, so they have no egg, obviously. But I wonder if the regular like bake ones would have a better result. Um, no bake cheesecakes just seem to be like what's more popular, but I bet that's what it's kind of missing is that traditional cheesecake kind of taste because I'm not even baking it. But that is a good idea. I'll have to look up an actual baking one rather than a no bake. That's probably a better way to go about it. But today I'm supposed to do a podcast with my brother. Hopefully, he's been wanting to do the podcast every other week, and we've only done like a handful of them. So I'm kind of waiting to post them on a different channel until we have a little bit of a backlog because I'm still not 100% sure if my brother's going to want to continue to do the podcast. But we're going to do that, I think, around 5:30, which has been a lot of fun. I know there's like a million people who have podcasts, but it's honestly just a fun thing to do. Plus, my brother's always in his room, just like playing video games. So it's nice to have something to do with him that kind of brings him out of his room. Although we do watch movies and some TV shows, but even those we've been kind of running out on. I'm starting to feel similar to how I felt when we first were quarantined and a lot of the shops and things were closing, where it's just like I kind of don't know what to do with myself. Like I have plenty of things to do. There's a million things to do around my place, but things that I actually want to do, I'm kind of running low on those kinds of things. Um, because I mean, I've been editing videos today and yesterday for most of the day, but there's a certain point, I know this is probably boring for people who don't have a YouTube channel, but once you edit a video, you have to export it. And once it's exporting, I don't know, my editing software is really slow. So when I have it exporting, I can't do really anything else on my computer. So it's not like I would be uploading a video as well. So I have to find something else to do while one video is exporting. And I just don't have a whole lot of things to do. I'm hoping to start working on like the backyard stuff, and maybe get something fun going there. I'm going to like stain the fence, which sounds boring, but I think it'll make the backyard look better. I don't know about everybody else, but it's starting to get a bit warmer here. So I'm kind of wanting to spend a little more time outside. It's just been so cold. I love the cold, but it's been so cold this winter that it's just so nice to have some sort of heat kind of around. And I'm going to regret this in a few months. I know it because I do not like summer. But I guess the change in weather has been kind of nice. It's making me feel like doing more and being outside more, which is nice, which is something my boyfriend always likes to do. He loves being outside. So looking forward to doing some things outside, hopefully. Aretha says, I am hoping the salmon helps with the inflammation I may get when I start going to the gym. I can't take ibuprofen. Oh no. I can't imagine not being able to take ibuprofen. I really rely on that one, but hopefully it does help your inflammation. I've never heard of salmon helping inflammation, but I'm just not up to date with that kind of stuff. So hopefully it does help you. That would be great. Ruth says cheesecake crust. I use coconut flakes. Oh, and pecans in a food processor. 4 tablespoons melted butter and 1 tablespoon sweetener. That sounds great. Whoops, sorry, I shook you guys again. What I've used for some crusts is almond flour, butter, and some sweetener. And honestly, that it's just really simple and comes out really tasty. Jen G, hi, I'm new here. LOL. Hi, Jen. It's good to see you. I'm just kind of blabbing about whatever comes to my mind. It's just been a slow day, so I've been just doing kind of whatever. I thought it might be nice to do a live, but I forgot that it is Easter. I guess I assumed because I wasn't doing anything for Easter that nobody was. But my boyfriend and I were driving around earlier because we were going to go to Lowe's, but it was closed. And we saw at a park that was so crowded with people. I could not believe it. There was my boyfriend grew up around the Bay Area, and he said that he had never seen that park so busy like it was. It was crazy. I mean, it's good that people are doing things outside for sure, but it was so chaotic. There were a lot of people at Home Depot too, which I did not understand. Easter doesn't seem like a holiday for, I don't know, projects, I guess. It seems more something that you would do indoors. No, I guess outdoors, but yeah, it was crazy out there. We just drove around a little bit to get out of the house for a little bit because we have both been so cooped up lately. We're just like going to work and then coming home and just hanging out at home watching TV shows. So it was nice just to get out to drive around. Sometimes we do that. We just go and drive to some neighborhoods or just drive downtown and see I don't know, just see what's going on. It's been crazy to see the restaurants and stores that have been closing. It's insane. And then there's been new businesses that have opened up too. So, I mean, I guess that's nice, but it's just crazy. I'm interested in seeing how things are going to look once everything kind of improves, because I think it's going to be just like totally different than how it was a year and a half ago or a year ago. But yeah, just trying to keep keep things fun as much as we can without going out too much. But we did go to Home Depot today and just kind of walked around. I looked at countertops, which I don't need to be looking at countertops because I'm not going to be paying to get my countertop redone on in my kitchen. So I don't need to be looking at countertops. But it's just fun to kind of browse around, even if you're not looking to buy. Honestly, I enjoy browsing way more than actually purchasing things because I'm really thrifty, so I really don't like spending money. And you wouldn't believe that from seeing like my keto grocery hauls because I buy so many prepackaged things just because I love trying new things. I forget who it was I heard say this. It was like I think it was like a teacher that I had in my master's program that had said something like, how much time do you spend like doing this and doing that, and like what means the most to you, like what's like a core value of yours, or like what do you hold closest to your heart, and how much of your time do you spend doing that thing or like related to that thing. So for me, my diet is super important to me. It means a lot to me. So what I get the most joy out of is doing something to help my diet improve, help me feel better, because that's what I care a lot about. That's kind of what I'm passionate about. So in my mind, when I spend money for keto stuff, it's what matters kind of the most to me. So I think it's well worth spending the money because it's what I really value. So spending money on keto prepackaged stuff is not, I don't kind of wince at spending money that way. I don't like purchasing things like clothes or shoes or things. I try to get like a good use out of everything that I have. I tell my boyfriend all the time, like I'll put on a pair of pants. I have these one pair that's just kind of like work pants whenever I'm doing a project on my place. And I tell him like, oh, I've had these pants since I was 16 because I have. I don't know if it's that I take care of my stuff or that um, things were made better when I was a kid, but I just like hold on to things unless it's falling apart. Then I'll throw it away. And even if it's falling apart, I might still try and keep it around for a couple of years just because I really just don't like spending money. That must be the accountant in me or something. I'm not sure. Aretha says, I'm planning a trip to Ontario, California, the end of the month to visit my daughter. I am hoping to visit the California keto store in San Diego. That's awesome. I've been wanting to visit that keto store in San Diego. I've been wanting to go to San Diego for a long time. I've never been to San Diego. I've lived in California my whole life. But San Diego is so beautiful, and I'd love to go there. I hope you have fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. That's what I love doing when I go out of town. It sounds so weird, but I absolutely love going out of town and going to grocery stores and seeing the different keto options they have at the grocery store. It sounds like such a nerdy thing to do, but like I said, keto is something that I'm passionate about. So doing anything having to do with keto, I really enjoy it. So even when I'm on vacation, I'm just like, oh, let's see what keto things we can find. So it's fun to me, at least. I hope you have fun, Aretha, at that store. It seems great. I've seen it on Krogal, her channel. She goes to that. I think she's done a video where she's actually gone in the store. It seems like a small store. I've seen it on someone's channel, but they have a lot of keto stuff. Ooh, I'm most excited about their baked goods stuff, but I'm a sucker for baked goods because they have like different streusels and stuff. It looks amazing. I hope you do a video about that, Aretha. That would be awesome. Hey, Mary R., how are you? Happy Easter. Happy Easter to everyone who's here. Oh, Farinins. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say your channel name. I've seen your videos before, but I've never been able to pronounce your your name. I'm really bad at pronouncing things. Faye Rianas. Farianas. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm doing my best. Mary R says, I do too, Mary. Aretha says, I enjoy looking for keto items everywhere I go. Me too. Fairy Anna's. Okay. Faye is fine. Okay. Fairy Anna. Fairy Anna. That's a beautiful name. Is that your first name? Faye? It's Fairy Anna? That's a beautiful name if that's your actual name, not just like your channel name. I've never heard that before or seen that before, so that's really cool. But yeah, Aretha, I don't know what it is about going to grocery stores and finding new keto things, but it's just fun. And now I've even got my boyfriend into going to grocery stores and finding vegan things for him, even though he's eating some meat now. But vegan things and keto things, because he has some keto things. Like he eats high key cookies. He really likes those, and he likes ratio yogurt too. So there's some keto things that he will eat as well, even though he's not keto. Fariana says, my middle name is Alicia Fariana Ray. Oh, that's pretty. Jamila, I think that's how you say your name. Jamila says, hello, happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday and happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. Did not realize it was Easter for the longest time today. I like Mary R says, I like shopping for keto foods as well. I don't know what it is. I think it's the hunt of it all that, keto stuff, there are more keto things in stores now, but it's still a hunt to find a keto item at a grocery store. If you go someplace like Sprouts, I feel like most Sprouts have at least one keto thing, at least. I mean, they carry Enlightened stuff now. They even have their cheesecake and cookie dough bites in stores. But everywhere else, I feel like it's really a hunt to find a keto thing. So maybe that's what it is. Because like growing up, I used to love going to Ross for clothes. I guess because of the hunt. It's just something about finding like a good deal or like that perfect thing for you. It makes shopping worthwhile. I'm not a big shopper. So the process of doing clothes shopping or grocery shopping is not really fun for me. But if I have some sort of challenge involved in doing that kind of shopping, then I can actually enjoy it. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Variana says, I'm struggling to stick to keto foods. Just found, oh my gosh, congratulations. She found out she's pregnant. I want to eat right, but carbs. I can't imagine being pregnant and the cravings that you can get and trying to stick to a specific diet. I imagine that is incredibly difficult because, just sticking to keto sometimes can be difficult if you have other people eating other things around you. It can kind of trigger cravings in me, I know. And if you have like certain food items or like if sugar accidentally slips in your diet, then, it can be hard to ignore those cravings. I don't like to use that term to ignore cravings because I don't feel like cravings are something you could just ignore. It's like, it's such a strong feeling. It's not something that you could just be like, oh, I'm just going to forget about that. But having non-keto cravings and then also being pregnant where you have very specific cravings, I imagine that's hard. You do what you can. That's a big challenge there to, make sure you're nourishing yourself and keeping yourself sane too. So I don't know. I think, doing your diet the way that's going to help you the best, I think it can really change based on the stage of your life. And, when I first started keto, I was having Mission low carb tortillas every single day because I was trying to transition from actual tortillas to keto and not having any like carby stuff. So even though I don't do that now, I feel like that was necessary for me at the time to be able to get off of regular carbs. That little transitionary time was helpful so that I could eventually not have tortillas at all. I mean, I like tortillas, so I can't say that I'll never have a low carb tortilla, but it's just, I don't know. I think there are certain products that are on the market that are super beneficial for you in particular phases of your weight loss journey. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because like from the YouTubers that I've seen, they don't just start a diet and they're just doing everything right their first day. You might be able to do that if you could research for, I don't know, several months before starting a diet. And I know a lot of people do research before starting a diet, but even when you do research, you still have to like experience it, because reading about something and actually experiencing is like two different things. So I think, everyone has their own journey, and you got to work through the different stages and twists and turns that come your way. And I think that's totally fine. No one's journey looks the same. Rob, hey! He says, oh my God, I finally made it to a live. How are you? Fariana says, cravings are tough. I want ice cream mostly, but I have overate lately. Yes, overeating for me is such a struggle. I think it's a habit too. So it's a hard habit to break when you're used to overeating, because when I was my heaviest, I would eat until I felt like physically ill. So, and I would do that every time I ate. So once you get into a habit of doing something and feeling a certain way, I feel like it's really hard to break that habit. And I was probably doing that. I was probably overeating for at least a year, and it was every single day. I don't know, doing anything every single day, it creates a habit, and it's hard to break. Rob says, been doing well, just fighting the urge to eat Easter candy. Ooh, I don't even know what Easter candy is. Is it just like chocolates and things? I remember I used to work at a candy company, and they would have year-round chocolate in the shape of eggs, like Easter eggs. And they were delicious, but it was just year-round, and they didn't, it wasn't for specific holidays or anything. But man, being keto and working at a candy company would be a tough one. Thankfully, when I was working at the candy company, I wasn't keto. I hadn't figured out that I had an issue with sugar until I worked at the candy company, actually. Fariana says, LOL, get sugar-free, Rob. Yeah, there's plenty of sugar-free options. My goodness. I don't know if you guys have Wincos near you, but Winco actually has a really great sugar-free section. They have a lot of chocolate sugar-free candies. They do use maltitol though, so if that's something you're sensitive to, that's probably not a good idea for you. I think the Russell Stover's candies have maltitol in it as well, so something to be aware of. And then also with the sugar-free ones, they can have, I want to say it's sucralose. There's a sugar alcohol in it, in a lot of sugar-free candies that can upset your stomach, and gotta be wary of that. Mary R says, I know the feeling, Rob. Fariana says, chocolate and marshmallow stuff. Oh my gosh. Yes, I love marshmallows. I think they have sugar-free Peeps though. I've seen sugar-free Peeps on Amazon, I think. I was tempted to buy the sugar-free Peeps. I love marshmallow, but I haven't been a super big like Peep fan. Like when I was a kid, I don't know, something about it is just like too much marshmallow. But when I saw those sugar-free Peeps, I was like, oh, I might have to buy that. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm sure they're great. Keto marshmallow is actually not that hard to make. I've made it a couple times. It's not bad. I think marshmallows are probably a bit better, but you can definitely do sugar-free marshmallows on your own. If I could do it, you could do it. Rob says Easter candy is wannabe Halloween candy. So like candy, but just like not as good as regular candy. Like I know that a popular Easter candy that I could not stand is they're like, I think they're like malt balls, and they're in the shape of eggs, and they have like a candy coating on the outside and like all these dots, these like brown dots. I don't know why. But I remember as a kid, I hated those. I could not stand them. They are, I'm not a super big fan of candy coated things anyways, like M&Ms or Sixlets, things like that. But something about that Halloween candy, I was just like, oh no, it was probably malt balls because I don't like malt balls. Oh my gosh, Rob, thank you so much. Get yourself some keto snacks. Nom nom nom. Funnily enough, I just placed a nutrition order yesterday, I think. So I did get myself some keto snacks. Thank you, Rob. You didn't have to do that. That's very kind of you. Seattle Sapphire says Chalk Zero is good. Chalk Zero reminds me of I don't know if you guys have ever had those like the chocolate gold coins. But they were the milk chocolate from Chalk Zero reminds me of those chocolate gold coins, which for me, I love those chocolate gold coins. It was like my favorite chocolate as a kid, and I'm not a super big fan of chocolate, but I love those chocolate gold coins. But I think it's like a cheaper chocolate, so I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I love that kind of chocolate. Aretha, have you tried the Chalk Zero white chocolate? I personally love white chocolate, but their white chocolate, I like Lily's white chocolate better. I think it's tastier, more like white chocolate in my opinion. But the Lily's white chocolate has a pretty high carb count. I think it's like, oh God, I don't want to throw out a number because I'm probably going to be wrong. But the Lily's white chocolate, watch the carb count on that, because I remember checking one time. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so high in carbs. It's not like the milk chocolate or the salted caramel chocolate where it's like 0, 1, or 2 net carbs. It's not like that. It's definitely more than that. Mary R says you don't like M&Ms. No. The peanut butter ones are good, but like regular ones, something about the M&M minis would always make me nauseous as a kid. I don't know what it is, but I can't even eat the M&M minis because woof. They I don't know, did something to me. Fairy Anna says, please be kind enough to leave a thumbs up for the host. You're so sweet. Rob says most sugar alcohols are brutal on my digestive system. Yeah, I think that's the case for a lot of people. And some ice creams too. I've heard the sugar alcohols in that have been really tough on people's stomachs, because people ask me, since I did the ice cream fast, I've done ice cream fast, I think 2 different times with different keto ice creams. They had Rebel and Enlightened. And I didn't have any issues. I don't know what it is, but I don't have a problem with most sugar alcohols. Rob, have you found a sugar alcohol that is okay for you? Because there are a lot of different kinds. There's monk fruit, erythritol, stevia, which I thought was a brand name, but I guess it's just, that's what it is, from a stevia plant. And then there's xylitol too, which like they all have their own kind of taste to them. So I know when I started keto, it was hard for me to find a sweetener that I could cook with, because the first couple sweeteners that I tried, for whatever reason, they did not mix well in my baked goods. And I tried making chocolate chip cookies, and I think it was xylitol that I had used. I had mixed it, like the cookie dough balls, and it was separating the sweetener from the butter that was in the like dough mixture. And then when I cooked it, it just like was a big blobby mess. I don't know what the heck happened. I think it happened multiple times, but it was hard for me to find a sweetener that I could actually bake with, which is so weird because I feel like you don't hear anybody talk about that. And it was such a struggle for me when I first started keto because I had multiple instances where I would try a very simple recipe and it would just not work out. I would get so frustrated when I first started keto because it's like, what am I doing wrong? I'm just trying to make like a simple chocolate chip cookie. Why can't I do this? It's crazy. Rob says allulose is so far so good. More companies need to switch to that. Yeah, or monk fruit. Yeah, allulose seems to be catching on kind of quick because Quest kind of started to switch. Sorry, there's someone outside. There since like the first day I bought this place, there have been two men that stand outside. There's like another complex behind my place, and there's these two men that stand outside and like shout to one another from like the balcony at one place down to the parking lot. It's crazy. And I don't know why they think that's an appropriate thing to just have full conversations shouting to one another. But that's what was just happening. I'm sorry. But I was saying allulose is something that like Quest is switching to. So I know there's another company that started using allulose. I've been seeing it more and more. I think there's a baked good that has allulose in it. It might be Sweet Logic. I have a bag of allulose, but when I've tried baking with it, like I did very early on a peanut butter cookie recipe where I used a bunch of different sweeteners to see how they baked, and like the taste of them. And the allulose one browned really, really quickly. I don't know if you've tried cooking with allulose or baking. I guess it's different than cooking. But baking with allulose, it browns way quicker. Like it cooks faster. So I know there's some rule online. I've heard someone say when you bake with allulose, you should like turn down your oven. I don't know if it's like 25 degrees or if it's more than that. But I didn't know that when I first made that peanut butter cookie video. But it's definitely something you have to get used to and adjust like recipes that aren't using allulose because it's a different ingredient that reacts differently to like cooking temperatures and stuff. So it's just, I'm not a good cook in the first place. And then trying to get used to keto cooking and baking is just, it's a whole nother thing. I'm glad that I started keto when I was pretty early on to learning how to cook. So like I didn't get too invested and comfortable with regular non-keto ingredients because basically I'm just learning how to cook, but only keto. So it all works out in the end, I guess. Hey, Gail, how are you? It's good to see you. Happy Easter. Fairy Anna says, LOL, social distancing. Yeah, I guess they like really adopted social distancing quick here. They're just really, really far away, maybe 12 feet away, having full-blown conversations. It's great. Sometimes when my boyfriend and I are outside and they start having a conversation, they'll be asking each other questions. And I'll start answering, not like shouting to them, just like to my boyfriend, because it's just like, yeah, we could have a conversation with you because everyone can hear you. Seattle Sapphire says, I have some liquid allulose that I have not tried yet. Oh, I wonder. So like the liquid sweeteners tend to be stronger than the powdered sweeteners because that's one thing. Another thing I noticed about allulose is that it was less sweet than like Swerve and xylitol, especially. But I wonder if the liquid allulose would be, I don't know, closer to a 1-for-1 ratio with regular sugar. That's interesting. I haven't seen a liquid allulose. Where did you get that, Aretha? Because that seems interesting. I haven't purchased a new sweetener in a long time because after I had those struggles finding a good sweetener very early on in my journey, I found Swerve and then didn't want to try another another sweetener because Swerve actually worked consistently. So I've just kind of stuck with Swerve. But I know Pure is a tasty sweetener too. It's just really expensive. Gail says, I have liquid and powdered allulose. Both are less sweet. Yeah. So I don't know if it's like half as sweet or a quarter as sweet. I need to figure out the ratio between regular sweetener or like a keto sweetener and allulose, because you definitely have to like ham it up a bit. Oh, Rob says here in Texas, there is literally no social distancing going on. People are all up in your face. Spades. That is unfortunate, Rob. Ugh. That's definitely something I'm worried about, is like people getting more comfortable. And I mean, we were just at the store yesterday. We went to Winco and people were like crowding us a lot. We're just like, oh my goodness, like let me back up out of this aisle, because people are definitely getting close. And I'm the kind of person where like I like to have a bubble around me at all times, and then especially because of what's going on right now. So for like people to come that close to me in normal circumstances is kind of alarming for me, but like definitely now it's crazy. That's why I think for the longest time, I was just like, I'm not going to go to any grocery stores. I'll just do like Walmart grocery pickup just to be safe, because, other people's comfort levels are definitely different than my comfort level. So, and whatever works for them, I got to figure out what works for me. Aretha says that she got her liquid allulose at Costco. Man, my Costco here is so bad. They have such a poor selection of really everything. It's a pretty small Costco, so I can barely find anything that's helpful at the Costco near me. Although my boyfriend and I just went a couple days ago, I think, and we found a good amount of keto stuff. So I think it's starting to make its way to the Costco near me, because they do have the keto pint ice cream bars, which my boyfriend just got and he absolutely loves them. And do they have a keto bread? Oh yeah, they have a keto bread. And I've gone to a different Costco and they have like a Sonoma Bakehouse keto bread. I think the one that is near me has Franz or Ferrans. I never know how to say it, but some keto things are making their way. Oh, and then I saw like a keto nut mix and a keto granola. I think there's some brand that has like a white and black label, and they have a granola that was in Costco. So it's making its way here. It's just taking a long time, I think. But hey, progress is progress. Gail says, I got both of mine at my local grocery store. That is nice. I wish I had we have a health food store kind of thing, but they have like CBD oil. They don't have like anything keto related, unfortunately. That's why I love going to local grocery stores when I go out of town, because they have stuff that I would never see near me, because there's just like, unless I go like deep into the Bay Area, there's really not a whole lot of keto options anywhere near me. Although lately I've been finding a lot of keto bread near me. I've done like 2 ketone test videos on the different breads, and I think I have 2 more that I need to do, because I've been finding keto bread like crazy. There's been so many like new brands of keto bread. I think Oro Wheat just came out with a new keto bread. It's like, Oro Wheat's a huge company, and they finally came out with a keto bread. It's crazy. It's great, because I mean, the more options we have, the better. And then hopefully prices will start to go down because there's more competition. So, I mean, it's only good for us, but it's kind of crazy how the keto bread, like segment of the keto market is kind of like blowing up right now. I've just seen so many recently. Gail Gail says, I get so disgusted with keto sometimes because they get rid of the cleanest keto products. Yeah, Costco has a weird cycle of the products that they keep in stores, and then when they get rid of it, I don't know. They have to have some sort of rationale for it, I imagine. But yeah, it seems like things that are popular, they still will get rid of. I don't understand why. Rob says, true, Gail, Costco is very hit or miss. One day they have something, then you never see it again. Yeah, that is the truth. Gail says, yesterday I went to Aldi and found out that they are not carrying the zero net. Oh my God, they're not carrying the zero net carb bread anymore. So many people love that bread. That's going to devastate a lot of people. Oh my goodness. Yikes. I mean, I wonder why it was so popular. Or it's always been popular since it first came out. I know like they were selling out of that bread, and then they started to be more available in stores. People were still buying like 3-4 loaves at a time. I wonder why they would stop selling that. That's crazy. I wonder if it had something to do with like the ingredients or the label that they had to like stop. They had to discontinue it or something. I shouldn't say that because that's just like me wondering, but that's just such a weird move to make because it was such a popular bread. People love that bread. Rob says, I think Aldi pulled the bread temporarily because see, that's what I just said. That's exactly what I was thinking, because it doesn't make sense otherwise, because their bread has always been ridiculously popular, because I know there's Aldi's like all over the place, but since they first came out with that bread, people went bananas for it because it was selling out and it was just like they couldn't keep it on the shelves. So for them to stop selling it just for kicks, that seems suspicious for sure. Gail says at Rob, yeah, they keep the fake keto products and get rid of the clean ones. Yeah, it's, it's unfortunate because the people who are just starting keto, they maybe don't know all the ingredients to pay attention to. I mean, I didn't know about maltitol for the longest time because I don't know. I just didn't research it. So I think a lot of people want the things that taste good. It tastes like it's a regular food, and don't really care about the ingredients. So that's probably why those ones just sell more. And that's probably why they keep them around. Gail says that, Rob, I hope that is the case. I don't buy the breads much, but I like that for an occasional treat, and the price was so good. It was seriously, the Aldi keto bread was seriously the most reasonably priced keto bread I think that's ever been on the market to date, because even like the Aunt Millie's that's available now, it's $6.99. And I think, well, you know what, the price of the Fran's bread when you get it at Costco, because it comes in a 2-pack, I think it ends up being $5 each. But I think the Aldi one was like $4.50 or something like that. So I don't know, it's still the cheapest option, I think. Rob says clean keto isn't mainstream keto, sadly. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think people making the right steps to improve their health is always better than what they were doing, even if it's not I don't know, it's not the pinnacle of health. It's still better than what they were doing before. And I think improvements are hard to make in general. So I think any steps in the right direction is huge. And some people may not be able to get to that perfection of like always eating everything they should. Like they might have a piece of cake every now and again, but most of the time they do keto. I think as long as they're trying to better themselves and better today than they were yesterday, I think that's what matters, because I think perfection is a hard thing to achieve. I think as long as people are trying, I mean, just having someone try to improve their health, I feel like is such a massive step that I feel like that should be applauded because I was overweight for a good amount of time, and I wasn't looking to improve my health at all. I was, in denial that I even had an issue. I remember when I did a blood test and like a physical thing, and I was told by the doctor that I was obese. I was like, no, I'm not obese. I think the definition of obese probably changed, and that's why I'm considered obese because I'm not obese. Like that's how far in denial I was. But I think it takes a lot to realize that you need to make positive change, and then actually doing it is a whole nother hurdle. So I don't know. I think it's a hard thing to do, and I think if you're trying to better yourself, I think it's great. I think it's a good thing. Gail says, plus the bread made a killer grilled cheese sandwich. I think I tried a grilled cheese with it. It definitely gets crispy. It's lovely. Aretha says, I really like California Country Girl keto bread. Oh, I haven't tried that one. I have not ordered it, but so worth it. Oh, I don't even know if I've seen that one actually. I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to Google it after this to see what it looks like, because there's been a crazy amount of not large. There's been a crazy amount of new bread companies, not companies, but new lines that are just for keto. Aretha says, it is hard to make dietary changes. I try to do clean, but sometimes I fail to eat not so good keto treats. Oh, and eat not so good keto treats. Yeah, and I think that's fine. I mean, I don't think anyone's perfect. And if someone is perfect, I think that's great. But I think it's important to find something that's achievable for you. I think for me, perfection is just not achievable. I don't know that it's ever going to be achievable. I strive for it, but I don't think it's something I'll achieve, and I'm okay with that. Rob says it's really is better to do any keto than not at all. I just mean that a lot of these keto products are predatory, especially for people that are just starting their journey. Oh, 100%. I saw a yogurt at Sprouts. It was, I think, by Greek Gods that it says keto friendly on the front, and I think it has like 8 or 9 net carbs, and it's like, what? What are you like, that's not, no. For a little itty bitty yogurt, like, no. That's the kind of stuff I think you're talking about, Rob, and 100% that is just taking advantage of I think that's just taking advantage of people trying to better themselves, and that's really, it is predatory, just like you said. I agree 100%. I can't see a name on this comment, but Dash Dash says, hi there. When you travel, do you stick to keto or cheat? When I first started keto, I would go off of keto when I would go on vacation. And then it's probably been 2 years now since I did that, because the last time that I would not be keto while on vacation, I ended up in the hospital because I had a migraine that was so bad. I couldn't stand it. I was throwing up. I felt horrible. The pain was just so bad. So after that experience, I came to the conclusion that I can't not be keto because I feel horrible and can't really enjoy anything. So for me personally, I can't travel and not do keto. I have to be keto all the time because I will get migraines. There are some times where In the past, I have had some like one thing that's not keto and been fine, but like going a whole, like even a whole day not doing keto, it's too much for me. But that's me in particular. Some people can travel and not do keto and be totally fine. For me in particular, no, I can't cheat while traveling. Rob says my keyboard was drunk apparently. No worries. I was just trying to figure out what was happening there, but I got what you were trying to say. 100%. Gail says I have been keto for 5 years now. Wow. I keep things very basic and sprinkle in some products here and there. Plus I have budget restraints which keep me from buying a lot of garbage. That's definitely a positive way to look at budget constraints, because for sure the keto products that are questionable are expensive because they're tasty. But yeah, I think, if you can do the basic keto stuff and it works for you, I think that's fantastic. I kind of go through cycles of doing basic stuff, just because like I don't want to spend a whole lot of time making something, and then I go through spurts of wanting to make baked goods and I don't know, different keto treats and stuff. I haven't like baked anything sweet in a while, but I like definitely a year ago I was like making a new baked good every weekend. So it's definitely something I go through cycles. Jamila says, man, keto breads that are flour/wheat based do a number on my stomach. Never bothered me before keto though. Oh, it's interesting. I kind of, even with some keto products like the Mission Low Carb tortillas, I used to eat a lot at the beginning of my keto journey, and then I stopped for probably 6 months. And then when I had one of those Mission Low Carb tortillas again, it made me feel horrible. Like I was so exhausted. It's weird how your body adapts to the way you're eating. And I think when you eat one way for so long, your body gets used to it, and you kind of don't realize how the food that you're eating makes you feel. I know I didn't realize that I was feeling so tired before doing keto. I didn't even realize it was food related at all. So then when I started doing keto and was energized and my hunger had subsided so much, it kind of just made me realize like, oh, it was the food I was eating. What did you eat that caused that bad of a reaction with a migraine? I honestly don't know. It was probably just like a cumulative cause of the things I was eating while on vacation. I wasn't eating anything crazy. I think I had like some Mexican food, so maybe like a burrito. I had some gluten-free, had I think 2 gluten-free cupcakes because I was like, oh, I'll try gluten-free while on vacation. And that just, I think it was still jammed packed with sugar. Honestly, it was probably the gluten-free cupcakes because, which I had 2. And it was probably that because I've heard that gluten-free products have more sugar in it because they're trying to like compensate for the lack of gluten to do something in the baked good. So that's probably what it was, is that I had way more sugar than I would even when I was doing the standard American diet. And then also from not having sugar while doing keto, that's probably what did me in. Jamila said it probably did back then, and you just did not realize. Once you eliminate things, you realize how sensitive you are. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. If someone offered you $1 million to do keto for a year, would you take them up on that offer? I'm not sure what the question is. To not do keto? If someone offered me $1 million to not do keto for a year, oh, if I didn't do keto for a year, I'd probably gain a bunch of weight, and I'm not confident that I'd be able to lose that weight. But $1 million is a lot of money. Non-keto, I mean. Yeah, non-keto for a year. I think I could probably do non-keto for a year, $4 million. And then maybe hire a trainer to help me lose the weight again. Because if I had $1 million, then I'd definitely just get a trainer. Aretha says, I have a whole keto room that I remember seeing your keto room. Yes, I wish I could have a keto room. Um, it is an embarrassment. Most of the things in that room is not clean. And me just buying anything that said keto that because I could. Yeah, you don't really eat prepackaged stuff anymore though. So that's probably why you've had just such an accumulation because you don't even eat that stuff anymore. Gail says, LOL, I've never had any of those low carb tortillas. That's awesome. Don't have them. If you can do without them, totally skip it. Like I've talked to other people who have said, "Oh, I've never had a keto bread before." It's like, great, don't do it, because I think once you realize that's an option, you'll like get hooked and then want to keep having it. If you can do your journey without like a keto bread or keto tortilla, do it. I think that's great. If you can make it work, do it. I'm going to try. My brother had just said to me that he might try doing keto like for a month. He says for a video of mine. But I think for him, he's going to need those keto bread substitutes to transition him out of having his regular carby stuff, because right now he is almost like solely having carbs. So for him, I think it's going to be so important to have those transitionary foods like the carbonate bread that I just found. That's like amazing. It tastes like regular bread. I think that's going to be crucial for him. So that kind of weans him off of having the regular carby stuff that he's been having, so that he can maybe switch to a better way of eating eventually. But I think it takes time. So I think if you could do it without it, do it. But some people can't. I don't know that I would have been able to. But you know, everyone's different. Dash Dash says, oops. Sorry, you guys went too fast. Dash Dash says, can you try a resistant tapioca starch recipe? I would have to look into that. Tapioca starch. I think I've tried a couple prepackaged things that have tapioca starch, and it kicks me out of ketosis. So I'll have to look into that and see what's available. If I can get like a small bag of a tapioca starch, I'm definitely willing to try it. I haven't seen any recipes with tapioca starch, so I'd really have to dig for that. But yeah, I'm definitely open to it. Ninja, stop. Sorry, my cat scratching at the door. Rob says, oh, dang. Ninja, no. Rob says, I think most resistant starch stuff has been debunked, right? I have no idea. But I think from my experience, I've seen the tapioca starch has been a no-go in prepackaged stuff. Gail says, yes, Mary, those gluten-free products are usually made with a high glycemic flours, like rice flours, etc. sugar bombs. Yeah, that's what I've heard, and that's probably what did it. Not a good switch on my part. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Sarah says, hey, Mary, I just wanted to say a quick hello. I have to get my kids down to sleep, but if you are still up, I'll check back. Thanks for dropping in, Sarah. I appreciate it. I know it's probably getting late for a lot of people. Dash Dash says, Rob, there are some keto YouTubers that tried resistant tapioca starch and it didn't even elevate their insulin levels. That's interesting. There's also like a big difference between like glucose levels and ketones. They're supposed to have an inverse relationship, but for me in particular, they don't. They're not inversely related. My glucose levels hardly change for anything. So it's just, I think it really is dependent on the person. Gail says, will your brother come on the channel? I think he wants to. I had told him that I had taken some clips and was going to put it on my channel. And he's like, no, you should. And it's like, what do you think I'm recording you for? But I think he is wanting to come on the channel. He's wanting like a whole video dedicated to him switching to keto, which I'm super excited. And when he brought it up, I was like, oh yeah, that could be interesting, like trying to play it off. But I think it would be awesome because I think it would help him so much. And then also I would love to see just how he reacts to it. Because he doesn't, like, when I first started keto, I was like, oh no, like I went to the movies with him. I was like, oh no, I can't have popcorn. He's like, you can't have popcorn. Why popcorn? And I was like, well, because it's just carbs. And he's like, oh, popcorn is carbs now? Like he has no idea. We were all homeschooled growing up. So we had no nutritional base for anything. So I basically learned when I was in my early 20s by going to the grocery store and looking at all the nutrition labels. So like my brother has no idea what keto is. He asked me yesterday, is butter keto? So he's learning. He's learning slowly, but I'm hoping he'll be on the channel for sure. Could be, but I would have noticed for causes me cramps. Oops. Dash says your cat fails to live up to its name. If you're able to spot him, Ninja is the least ninja-like cat ever. He is so funny. He's just like, oh my God, he keeps falling off of this cat scratching post. It's ridiculous. He's not agile at all. Gail says for the tapioca starch, Serious Keto just posted a video on it a couple days ago. I know he was testing a while back ago, like resistant starches, which I'm not too sure what that is, but that's great. Dash, if you're looking for that, check out Serious Keto's videos because it sounds like he has checked that as well. Gail says that will be exciting to see his journey. Does he have any health/weight issues? I haven't asked him. My brother's like a very jokey kind of person. So if you ask him a serious question, he's probably not going to answer it sincerely. But he is overweight, probably considered obese. And I think he has a fatty liver, which I think keto should help with. So he has told me that bit. But yeah, so I think it would definitely help him. He definitely is probably at his highest weight. He's really tall though, so it spaces out a lot better than like weight would on me. So I'm hopeful that he'll do that. And I'm thinking, so he had told me that he wanted to do it for like a month. I'm thinking maybe 2 weeks would be better. But I think he would still be able to like kind of get hooked. I think he would feel better and enjoy the food too. Cause I think that's the scariest thing for people is thinking the food is like gross. I had one person tell me, like on a live I was on, like, ew, keto food is gross. And I'm like, keto food is just regular food. You probably have keto, like steak is a keto food. It's, it's just regular food, but it's just like food that doesn't have carbs in it. Like it's nothing gross. Anyways, I think there's a bit of a stigma about it. Dash says resistant starch are supposed to only be the protein gluten portion of the starch. So you're not getting the carbs in theory, only protein. That's very interesting. I did not realize that. I guess that makes sense why some people want to test the resistant starch things. But yeah, I haven't gone into that at all. Rob said, I'd start a YouTube channel if I wasn't camera shy. Even after getting to a normal BMI, I still can't stand but being on camera, I guess, from all the years of hiding from them before. You know what, Rob? You might not think it now, but I'm go back and watch my first video. Go back and watch my first video. You can tell I did not want to be on camera. I'm a very shy person. I don't like a whole lot of social interactions. I don't like big crowds. So if I'm doing it, I think anybody can do it, honestly, because you do get used to it. And I think a lot of people are very kind, and I've been very thankful to have the people who have found my channel that honestly, they make it easy. Like you guys are what make this so easy. So I think once you get started, you'll find your people, and it won't be so difficult because it's not like you're talking to people who are going to judge you. You're talking to people who, I don't know, accept you. So that's my 2 cents, Rob. I think, honestly, starting a YouTube channel has been such a rewarding thing that I thought I was going to do it for a year and like nobody was going to watch my stuff. And then I would stop because I would be just wasting my time. But it's been incredible. And I think you should totally start a channel because, you also don't know who you could help by sharing your journey because, I know that like I've been touched by other people's journeys. So you could be doing that for someone else too. So I highly recommend starting your own channel. It doesn't take like you could just record with whatever you have too. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Dash Dash says, is it just me or does taking a bite out of butter sound delicious? I've never tried it before, but I know that people have done that. I just got this butter that's super delicious. It's from Winco. It's like the Winco brand. It's super tasty, but I don't know. I don't know that I'd be able to take a bite out of it. It sounds like it'd be a lot. I mean, I think like a bite of butter would be a full meal. I don't know that I'd be able to eat more than a bite of butter. That's a lot. Rob says butter is delicious. I'm assuming those faces mean. Dash Dash says, Mary, I would have mistaken you for an extrovert. That is so funny. No, I'm really not an extrovert. I'm very introverted. So that's funny. I have a sister that's extroverted though. So like I know the type, but no, I'm not. That's funny you say that though. Gail says, for sure your brother needs keto. Have him watch Dr. Barry and Dr. Siwas. The carb addiction. The carb addiction? Dr. I think he's like, that's his name is like the carb addiction doctor or something like that. I think I know what you're talking about. They have done lots of videos on fatty liver. Yeah, I agree that I think he needs keto, but I can't push him into it. He expressed interest yesterday, and I think he's going to do it. So I think 2 weeks sounds more reasonable, though, rather than a month. He suggested a month. And I was like, would you really do it for a month? He's like, let me think about it. So maybe I could get him to talk about it on our podcast, and maybe that'll kind of convince him. Because it's not so scary once you learn about it. Because I was scared before I started, and then I started watching grocery hauls on YouTube, and it didn't sound scary at all. So, and what I eat in a day. So, Dash Dash says we are friends with you. Thank you. Gail says I lick the butter off the spoon that I put in my coffee. You must have a good butter. Dash Dash says, what's your go-to lazy keto recipe when you're in a hurry? Like a recipe? Like if I was really in a hurry, I would have like meat because it's basically nothing. If I were to like make something, tacos, which is like not complicated at all. Basically all my go-tos are just like really simple. And Gail says, that's right. My typing is horrible. Sorry. No worries, Gail. I just want to make sure I understood what you were saying. But guys, thank you so much for coming. It's getting dark here and my brother is wanting to do a podcast. So I got to go check in with him. I will keep you up to date about if he's going to start keto, because if he agrees to that, I will not be able to keep my mouth shut. I will be so excited if he does that. But I will definitely let you guys know. I hope you guys have a great Easter, what's left of Easter, and have a great work week next week. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. You're the best. Bye, guys.